Hello, my name is Siobhan Green. It is week 2 of microbiology. It is July 12th. I am beginning the bacterial enumeration, dilutions, and plate counts. I am currently going to begin my labeling for my agar plates and my test tubes. So I'm labeling 6 of each for this experiment. I next will take my TSAs and go ahead and melt them so that I can do my agar plate pouring. Um, Once I get that done, I will come back and I will continue with the experiment, showing you bits and pieces throughout my full experiment. Okay, so I have melted my TSA. I'm now going to fill them each with about a half of it. So I'll go ahead and do that. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to let them sit about 10 minutes to become solid again before I start doing the remainder of the experiment. Okay, as I'm still waiting for my plates to dry here, they're almost about done, almost solid again. I'm going to begin my yeast. So I have about a fourth teaspoon in there. I'm now going to put 2 tablespoons of warm water into it. And it says swirl till the yeast is dissolved. And it says to let sit 10 minutes. And I'm also going to begin pouring my 2.25 of distilled water into my things. I just got this out of the alcohol, so I got to get all of the alcohol out and then begin doing my distilled 2.25 in each of my test tubes. Okay, I'm now going to do the next step of putting 0.25 milliliters of the yeast solution into the test tubes, and then from test tube to test tube drag it out. So I will begin with test tube number 1. Okay, so, and then it says rinse from the pipette. And it says to put 0.25 of that into the next one. And so forth. So I'll do 2 into 3, 3 into 4, and 4, 5, 5 to 6. Okay, and now I'm taking the solutions out of the test tubes and putting 4 drops of each into my agar plates. And this is the diluted solutions. I'm actually on agar plate 3. After I place that, I cover it and I swirl it around. It says to cover the full plate. And I'm going to continue doing that for each one. I am now done placing all of my drops into their assigned agar plates. I'm going to go ahead and incubate them for 12 hours and flip them and then incubate for another 36. Hello, me again, Siobhan Green. I have incubated the cultures for 48 hours now, so the plates have developed somewhat in mine. So it looks like 1 and 2 developed the most, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 were more of the diluted solutions. so they didn't develop as much. But what I'm going to do now, it says count the number of colonies on each plate. Plates with more than 300 CFUs are considered too numerous to count. And those will be my TNTCs. Plates with fewer than 30 are considered too few to count, so that would be a TFTC. And then plates between 30 and 300 are considered countable, so I'm hoping I at least have one that could be accurate as a count. So I'm going to begin with plate number 1 here. As you can see, I have that in my hand. It has the most developed colonies, so I'm going to go ahead and begin count it, and just go from there with 10-2, 10-3, 10-4, 10-5, and 10-6. Okay, so I'm still counting my colonies formed in my agar plates. I'm going to go ahead and count on video 10-3 just because it has less than my first two. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55 is what I got. So it is between 30 and 300, which would make it a viable count. I'm going to go ahead and finish up with 10-4, 10-5, and 10-6. Okay, so after counting, we took pictures, photos, which I have all my photos in my phone now. Well, not in my phone, but I also have them in the lab assistant now. And we were supposed to state if they were viable, which is 30 to 300, TNTC, which is too numerous, or TFTC, which is too few. My first 3 plates were viable, and then my last 7 were TFTC, which were too few. So I put my photos in, I labeled them as the viable and the TFTC. My next step was to calculate the CFUs in the original sample, so I had to use number 3, which you saw me count, 55. So there was 55 CFU in the original. My dilution was 1 to 1,000, or 10 to the third, and then my the milliliter used was the 0.125. My last calculation came out to so my calculation came out to 440,000. I got that by multiplying 55 times 1,000, and I divided it by the 0.125, and that gave me my total of my 440,000 CFU/milliliters. And that was the end of the project. It just asks us to soak all reusable equipment and soak all disposable equipment and dispose of everything, including the cultures. We're not saving these ones for another one. So I hope you enjoyed the experiment this week that is bacterial enumeration, dilutions, and plate counts.